He has every red flag you can imagine. The ultimate player. She's a quiet girl who just got betrayed by her boyfriend, yet she can't stop herself from falling for him. On the night of the breakup, Nabi sits alone in a bar until suddenly a charming stranger sits beside her. He mistakes her for someone else, thinking she's his date, but when their eyes meet, her heart flutters. He even cancels his blind date to spend more time with her. They start to talk, and when he asks for her name, she tells him it's Nabi, which also means butterfly in Korean. Amazed by her name, he tells her he likes butterflies and even shows the butterfly tattoo on his neck. He teaches her how to play darts, and Nabi can't help but fall for him. He treats her so kindly, seems so caring, compliments her smile, and every chance he gets, he touches her lightly, every gesture making her blush. He even draws a butterfly on her arm, leaving her even more flustered. Even at their first meeting, he leans in as if to kiss her, making her shy but then stops. She accompanies him outside for a smoke, and he offers her a cigarette. Since she doesn't smoke, she declines, until another woman asks him for one. Jealous, Nabi takes the cigarette herself and starts smoking, even though she coughs right after. He laughs, saying she's cute, then leans in closer, wanting to kiss her, and whispers for her to watch butterflies. Embarrassed, she runs away. Back from the bathroom, she overhears him on the phone saying he misses someone. Her heart breaks again, especially since she was just cheated on by her ex. She goes home, heartbroken, realizing she doesn't even know his name. In a flashback, her ex is seen cheating with his colleague. Not only that, but he humiliates her with an art statue of her in a seductive pose, even naming it Nabi without her consent. After that, she feels she never knew what love really is and stops believing in it. Determined to move on, Nabi tries to start a new life, but she can't stop thinking about the stranger. She catches glimpses of him at the library kissing someone, and again at the bookstore. Later that night, Nabi joins a group for drinks and is shocked to discover that the stranger she met at the bar is J1, her new junior in the art faculty, even though they are the same age. He specifically asks her to join them. J1 says he is glad they met again, and when her friend asks if they had met before, she lies, saying only at school. Throughout the night, they secretly exchange glances, smiles, and laughter. Rumors soon spread that some students were seen making out in the library. Nabi knows it was J1, but the group assumes it was someone else. When the waiter drops something, J1 picks it up and hands it back with a smile. Nabi notices he's this nice to every woman, which makes her jealous. She walks away, but J1 follows, asking her to buy ice cream for the group. He then brings up their first meeting at the bar and asks why she left without saying goodbye. She says she was just drunk. He notices she still has the butterfly he drew on her arm. Though it's just washable ink, she lies, saying it's difficult to remove. He smiles knowingly. She also learns he's single, but he constantly receives messages from someone. That night, Nabi tries to keep her feelings in check, but can't stop thinking about him. When the group creates a chat to settle their bill, she notices J1 is in it too. Her crush grows stronger. She waits at the smoking terrace just to see him, checks her phone constantly for his messages, and even neglects her sculpting work because he's on her mind. She makes excuses to visit J1's studio, pretending to help a friend. But when she sees how popular he is with the other girls, she walks away jealously. Nabi stays late in the studio, and J1 shows up to keep her company. They tease each other while she sculpts, and he sketches her by his side. When they finish, Nabi complains about her backache, and J1 helps her stretch, making her blush. He then asks for her phone number, and they exchange contacts under falling petals in the quiet night. As she gazes at the moon, J1 says it's pretty, while looking at her instead. Their connection feels natural, and he shows her butterfly videos on his phone. He touches her gently and leans in to kiss her, but she pulls away shyly. He asks to have a drink together next time and tries to kiss her again, but his phone rings, and the moment is interrupted. Nabi keeps wondering if J1 is serious or just playing around with her. Her friend warns her that he's a player, saying everything he did might feel special to her. But for him, it's the same thing he does to every girl he meets, and he doesn't intend to date anyone. That thought stays in her mind. They end up having lunch alone, and J1 takes her to a nightclub. The music is too loud and intimidating for her, but he convinces her to dance with him, and their eyes lock. He tries to kiss her again, but a stranger accidentally pushes her, making things awkward. After she comes back from the toilet, Na B sees J1 with a girl in leather who has a butterfly tattoo on her arm, exactly like the one he drew for her. The girl clearly knows him, and they seem close, which makes Na B uncomfortable. The girl invites them for drinks, but Na B declines and excuses herself. J1 follows and questions why she left him. When asked who the girl is, he brushes it off, saying they only went to the same academy and are just friends. Feeling uneasy after seeing the tattoo, Na B pushes his hand away coldly and goes home. She decides to keep her distance from him after this. At the studio, J1 suddenly shows up, questioning why she isn't replying to his messages and insisting they eat together. He keeps sending endless texts, calling her and flirting with her. Even though she knows he's a player, she can't help but fall for him. The next morning, she dreams about making out with him, which surprises her. She wakes up late, runs to class, and ends up in the same class as J1. He sits right next to her. She pretends to sleep, embarrassed by a sudden breakout on her face and feeling that her period is about to come. During break, she pushes him away to go smoke with his friend, making him sad, and he changes to another seat. During her presentation, her period unexpectedly starts, and she messes it up before rushing out. J1 follows, gives her his jacket to cover up, and promises not to tell anyone, making her blush. They start messaging each other, and her friend notices. Again, her friend reminds her that J1 is a player and does these special things to every girl, but Na B refuses to listen. So her friend invites her to their gathering to prove her point, and Na B agrees. She later finds J1's Instagram, and just as her friend said, his followers are all girls, and he's been commenting on every girl's post. At the gathering, Na B feels uneasy when she overhears the girls talking about J1's popularity. She sits near the boys, but the mood changes when J1 arrives, and everyone's attention shifts to him, making her uncomfortable. One student tries to harass her with makeout talk, which pisses everyone off. Na B goes to J1, and he gives her a lime drink, remembering it's her favorite flavor, which touches her. Outside, that same student asks about Na B always looking at J1, suspecting something between them, but J1 casually says nothing is going on. Na B feels crushed hearing this. She cools off in the bathroom, where her friend suddenly changes and encourages her, reminding her that J1's little gestures, like the lime drink, prove he likes her. Na B then bumps into J1 and asks why he doesn't want to date anyone and why he treats every girl so nicely. He says he doesn't find any need for that and that he's just being nice and respectful. The group continues drinking at Na B's house. They play spin the bottle, and it lands on J1 and Na B. But instead of kissing, they take the penalty, leaving everyone disappointed. The game ends awkwardly when neighbors complain, and in front of everyone, J1 casually puts his arm around Na B and apologizes to the neighbors. After the party, Na B sees J1 with another girl, confirming he's still playing around. Later, when they're alone, he admits he wanted to kiss her. This time, they finally kiss, even though Na B knows he's a player and doesn't intend to date her. Na B walks away after kissing J1, lying that it's because his breath smells like smoke from smoking, but in truth her mind is racing with confusion. Back in her room, she wonders what this feeling really means. Hoping it's love, she tries to sleep, but the next morning she's scrolling through articles about what it means to kiss a friend. One article even suggests it could make them become intimate, which unsettles her. Later, her friend comes by and Na B asks about it while pretending it's her friend's problem. Her friend reminds her that maybe it's just lust, not love. J1 never messages her again, making her overthink everything. She almost texts him about yesterday but decides not to. Nabi then listens as her friend talks about the difference between relationships and a casual fling, and her mind drifts back to J1 again. That night, Nabi feels anxious and goes to find him, but she spots him with a woman named Sol Ah. Pretending to be okay, Nabi heads into a convenience store where she runs into the junior from the last party who sat beside her. They exchange numbers, while J1 and Sol Ah watch from a distance. Sol Ah notices that he keeps looking at Nabi, but J1 insists she's just a friend. Still, Sol Ah isn't convinced. J1 then convinces Sol Ah that she is his destiny. Nabi and the junior start texting and decide to watch a movie together. The next morning, she tells her friend that she's stopped talking to J1, which disappoints her friend, who also notices how close Nabi has become with the junior. Just as Nabi is deciding which movie to watch, J1 suddenly shows up and tries to interfere, teasing that the junior needs to learn how to kiss since Nabi is picky about it. Embarrassed, she quickly pulls him aside and tells him to stop. He promises he will, and Nabi chooses to spend her time with the junior instead. The junior admits he overheard everything, but still insists on watching the movie with her. Their date feels sweet, but reminds Nabi too much of how her relationship with her ex began. When the junior leans in to kiss her, she excuses herself by pretending to sneeze, ending the night without a kiss. Back home, she admits to herself that there isn't the same spark she felt with J1. At the flea market, J1 is surrounded by girls asking for his phone number, but he doesn't give it to anyone. Nabi finds the junior, but soon learns he came with a girl he used to like, and that she's just his backup plan. Feeling crushed once again, Nabi leaves and J1 sees everything. Later, J1 notices the lime drink he bought for Nabi and thinks of her. That night, he calls her, but she has already deleted his number. When she answers and asks who it is, he feels sad. He finds out she's sick, and while they're talking, her phone suddenly dies. She goes out to find medicine but can't, and suddenly sees emergency services at her place. It turns out J1, panicking, had called them, thinking something bad had happened to her. After they leave, Nabi tells him she's fine and asks him to go, which he does. But soon, he comes back, bringing her medicine and food. They eat together, and later J1 carries her to bed, tucks her in, and reads to her softly. He confesses he's been drawn to her since the beginning, and admits he's jealous when she's close with the junior. Nabi starts to soften at his kindness and sweet words. She tells him to go home, but he refuses to leave and stays by her side after she falls asleep. The next morning, she wakes up to find he's been there all night, quietly taking care of her and cooling down her fever. After taking a shower, he comes out and she tells him not to style his hair, saying she likes it better that way. Smiling, he helps tie her hair and says he likes her that way too. Their eyes meet, the moment lingers, and then he leans in to kiss her. What starts as a gentle kiss slowly deepens, as all the confusion between them fades into pure passion. Nabi wakes up in J1's arms, caught between love and desire. He gets ready to leave for class, but checks if they can meet again and continue talking. She knows he doesn't intend to date her and just wants intimacy with her. She says she doesn't know, but he asks her to think about it first. After class, she meets J1, who complains that human anatomy class is so hard. She agrees to teach him personally since she's good at it, and shyly tells him that she's okay with the friends with benefits arrangement. They decide to meet again at her house that night. That evening, J1 goes to Nabi's place and hangs a butterfly sun catcher he made himself on her window. Even though she notices all the red flags, she gives in to him again. He tells her she looks so beautiful that night, kisses her, and they start making out again. After that, he talks about getting another butterfly tattoo on his chest, pulling her even deeper into his charm. He starts spending his nights at her house, turning it into his second home, even leaving some of his belongings there. They act like lovers only at night, but during the day, they live separate lives. Every night, they do house chores, eat together. She teaches him about human anatomy, They dance together and sleep next to each other even though Nabi knows the truth. They're not dating. Her friends notice that Nabi looks happier lately, assuming she's dating someone, but she shyly denies it. Jae-won invites her to an art exhibition that Sunday, without knowing it's her birthday. Meanwhile, Jae-won secretly meets Sol-ah, hinting about letting Nabi go, but admitting he doesn't want to yet. Nabi decides to spend her birthday with her mother and rejects Jae-won's offer to go to the exhibition. Later, she runs into her old friend Do Hyuk on the bus. They reconnect after almost 10 years and exchange numbers. They catch up about their lives. Do Hyuk now works as a chef who also runs a YouTube channel showing his cooking skills, and he's preparing to run his grandfather's restaurant in their hometown. Nabi is impressed by his update, and he's happy to see her again. The next morning, on her birthday, Nabi goes to her mother's house only to find she's busy with her secret affair. Heartbroken that no one remembered her birthday, she leaves, but then bumps into Jae-won at the train station. He grabs her hand and smiles like a real boyfriend. They spend time together for the first time during the day, and he even gives her a birthday gift, which makes her genuinely happy. That night, Jae-won wants to cook seaweed soup for her birthday. She's touched, saying nobody has ever cooked that for her before. Hearing this, Jae-won admits he's the same, and she realizes it's the first time he's ever opened up about himself. She admits she doesn't really know much about him beyond his tattoos and sweet words. When she tries to ask if he's seeing anyone else, he avoids the question and kisses her instead. They cuddle afterward, and deep down she wishes she were his girlfriend. But then Sol-ah calls, and he gets up to answer privately. He leaves, saying his friend has an emergency and telling her to make peace with her mother. Nabi is heartbroken. He doesn't even cook her birthday dish. Later, Nabi visits the restaurant where Do Hyuk works, and he makes her seaweed soup for her birthday, remembering it despite them losing contact for years, which deeply touches her. Do Hyuk has secretly had a crush on Nabi for 10 years. The next morning, she wears the dress gifted by Jae-won. Jae-won compliments her, saying she looks pretty. She admits she already made peace with her mother following his advice. Nabi and Jae-won continue to flirt openly. He even kisses her in public. But the students notice and start gossiping about them. That night, her ex comes to meet her and confronts her about the rumors, warning her that Jae-won is a player and she shouldn't get involved with him. She gets angry, but soon realizes she might have done the wrong thing by being friends with benefits with him. The next morning, Nabi overhears students talking about Jae-won being a player, even asking them to introduce him to new girls and calling her his new target. Their words add to her ex's harsh comments, saying they didn't expect Nabi to be so open despite her quiet behavior. Her professor also criticizes her art, saying she's not making progress even though it's her final year, and advises her to focus on studying. Jae-won overhears his friends gossiping about him and Nabi, calling him a player, and pitying Nabi for getting involved with him since she's such a nice girl. When Nabi messages him to meet, he already senses what she's about to say. All the warning signs push her to walk away, but she can't bring herself to do it when facing him directly. Instead, she asks Jae-won if he's doing what they did with other girls. He casually denies it, but before she can react, a man shows up, steps out of a car, and punches Jae-won in the face. Nabi gets pushed aside when she tries to stop the fight, making her necklace drop. Nabi's friends, who are nearby, hear the commotion and call the police to stop the fight. After things settle down, the man then reveals he's the brother of the girl Jae-won is currently flirting with, even though the girl is already in a relationship, exposing that Jae-won has been seeing someone else. The man even warns her not to get involved with a player like Jae-won. She gives him medicine to repay his kindness for taking care of her when she was sick last time, but she is shocked and hurt. She confronts him and asks what they really are to each other, why he's lying to her, what he actually wants from her, and why he's distant when she wants to know him. Jae-won says they're just friends and avoids all the questions, but still wants to continue meeting her. She decides to end their friends with benefits thing, even though she secretly likes him. He stays calm and agrees easily, which makes her even more upset. calling him a jerk till the end as she walks away. The next morning, Jae-won meets the man's sister who attacked him yesterday. It turns out the girl is the one who keeps chasing him, and she apologizes for what she did. Jae-won warns her not to mess around again. They stop talking for a few days, and after things end, Na-bi struggles to focus on her art. Her professor notices and worries that she might not finish her project. At home, when Na-bi wants to eat, she keeps replaying her moments eating with Jae-won and loses her appetite. She also thinks about him when she sees the sun catcher and notices that he bought her a new pair of necklace and earrings that had dropped during the fight. To say thank you, she tries to call him, but she finds his number disconnected, realizing how much she still misses him. He also thinks of her when he's about to style his hair, remembering how much she loves his hair unstyled. The next day, Na-bi runs into Jae-won in the hallway and asks about the necklace he gave her. He tells her to throw it away if she doesn't like it, and walks off after getting a call from Sol-ah, who turns out to be sick with anemia. Jae-won even pays her medical bills, showing he still cares about her. Sol-ah notices his hairstyle has changed and that his phone number is different, asking if something happened to him, but he just says he's sick and tired of his old behavior. Later, Na-bi meets Do-hyuk for a meal. He compliments her artwork and tells her he has a good feeling about it. The chef notices that he likes her, seeing how happy he looks when he's with her, and prepares an extra dish for him to give to her. Later, the art students prepare for their project presentations. When it's Na-bi's turn, Jae-won surprises her by volunteering to help with her sculpture, together with another student. He says he was drawn to her work and suggests using metal since it's his specialty, and even wants to teach her, insisting it's only for her art project. At his studio, their other teammate skips the work, so Na-bi and Jae-won end up alone together. He apologizes for what he said at the police station, admits he doesn't open up to people because he's afraid they will judge him, and promises to change little by little. Na-bi softens at his honesty and gives him encouragement to change. They work closely together, and Jae-won teaches her how to use fire to soften the metal. After she leaves, Jae-won notices he missed Sol-ah's call and forgot about their plan to meet that night. Sol-ah secretly goes to his place and sees Jae-won and Na-bi together, but remains calm and emotionless. Jae-won calls her to apologize for forgetting their plan, and Sol-ah lies, saying she also forgot to tell him that she canceled their plan earlier. As Na-bi regains her focus, her art improves, and her professor finally praises her work. Even Jae-won looks better and more motivated, and his friends notice he stopped going out with girls. Then Jae-won invites her to see a famous artist's exhibition with him. But later, Na-bi bumps into Sol-ah, who drops a lighter with a butterfly mark exactly like Jae-won's. Sol-ah recognizes her and reveals that she's actually Jae-won's ex, but they started dating again. Hurt and defeated, Na-bi quietly removes her hair tie, knowing he likes her that way, and angrily walks away. That moment changes everything between them. She starts to go missing for a few days without anyone knowing where she is. Jae-won keeps trying to reach her, but she ignores him completely. Later, he meets Sol-ah. He tells her that Na-bi has ignored him for a few days already, and she assumes he likes Na-bi, but he denies it. Then, Sol-ah tells him she broke up with her boyfriend. He seems to want comfort from her, but he stays quiet, distracted by thoughts of Na-bi. Meanwhile, Na-bi actually visits her aunt in her hometown. There she learns that Do-hyuk is also around. Her aunt teases her, saying they used to be very close and even had feelings for each other before, making Na-bi shy. While Na-bi is catching up with her aunt, her friend calls to assure her that she's coming to their upcoming workshop, and she learns that they will do it in her hometown, specifically at Do-hyuk's grandfather's guest house. Her friend lies, saying Jae-won won't be there, but Na-bi hesitates and says she'll think about it. After the call, she goes for a walk and bumps into Do-hyuk, who invites her to go to the beach with him. At the beach, he has prepared kebabs for her earlier and grills them for her, revealing something surprising. He has never dated anyone before. He also admits that Na-bi was actually his first love. When she once mentioned she had a boyfriend, he stepped back, and that's why he didn't say goodbye when she moved to Seoul. The night goes peacefully, and Do Hyuk confesses that after leaving the Navy, he actually saw her at his ex's art exhibition, but was too scared to approach her since they hadn't spoken for 10 years. Yet he was happy to meet her again on the bus. But Na-bi falls asleep without hearing what he says. Do Hyuk watches her sleep for a moment before quietly closing the door and letting her rest while he sleeps outside. Back in Seoul, Jae-won visits the bar where he first met Na-bi, but she's not there. Later, he's still flirting with another pretty stranger. The next morning, he visits the studio, but Na-bi also isn't there. He waits for her anyway, and his friend advises him to be more serious since he knows Na-bi likes Jae-won. He then keeps thinking about what his friend told him, and it turns out it's his birthday that day. Even though many girls wish him a happy birthday, he keeps waiting for Na-bi's wishes. Meanwhile, Na-bi is working on her sculpture, and the face she molds resembles Jae-won. Do Hyuk visits her again, and they spend time together while he's busy taking photos of her and talking about his video, suggesting he should show his face since he always just shows his hands in the video. Later, Sola meets Jae-won again and confesses that she lied. She told Na-bi they were dating even though they weren't. She never thought Na-bi would take it so seriously and leave him. Shocked, Jae-won immediately calls and texts Na-bi, begging to meet, but she ignores him. Talking with her aunt, Na-bi is reminded that love isn't about finding the nicest person, but the one who truly means something to you. Jae-won keeps thinking about Na-bi and misses her. On the day of the workshop, Na-bi keeps spending time with Do Hyuk. They ride bikes together, happily go to the market together, and then they meet his cousin, Do Yeon. One of the bikes breaks down, so his cousin brings it to repair, forcing Na-bi and Do Hyuk to share one on the way back. But Jae-won, who is also at the market asking for directions to go to the guest house, accidentally sees Na-bi and Do Hyuk together. Feeling jealous, he secretly follows them home. As they arrive home, things get even more tense when Jae-won suddenly shows up at Do Hyuk's grandfather's guest house. Do Hyuk and Jae-won exchange stiff greetings, and the air fills with awkward silence. But the rest of their friends arrive, breaking the awkwardness. Jae-won sits outside with his friend while Do Hyuk welcomes everyone inside. Her friend notices that Na-bi is not close to Jae-won anymore after the police station accident, and Na-bi says it's her fault they're not close anymore. Things stay uncomfortable between Jae-won and Do Hyuk, especially when Na-bi ends up in the same car with them on their way to the amusement park. Jae-won brings up her meeting with Sol-ah, and Na-bi pretends to be okay, complimenting Sol-ah's beauty. They remain awkward, and Jae-won keeps glancing at Na-bi in the back seat, even while driving. At the amusement park, Na-bi spends time with Do Hyuk playing a shooting game while he takes pictures of her. Jae-won's jealousy grows as he watches Do Hyuk laugh and take pictures of Na-bi and their friends at the bumper cars. Later, on the Ferris wheel, Do Hyuk mentions her beach photos that he took. Jae-won overhears and feels jealous. Their friends convince Do Hyuk to ride with them to take their pictures, and Na-bi and Jae-won end up sitting together. When she says the view is pretty, he tells her it's beautiful while staring straight into her eyes. He keeps staring at her, making her uncomfortable. He asks if she's okay. She says she's fine, and he says he's not, then asks why she ignored him and didn't wish him a happy birthday. She says many girls wished him. Then he reaches out to touch her hair, asking her to wish him a happy birthday, but it makes her visibly uneasy, and she acts cold, hurting Jae-won. Then everyone heads back to Do Hyuk's guest house. Do Yeon is there and sees Jae-won. Amused by his looks, she personally greets Jae-won. Then Do Yeon keeps flirting with Jae-won while Na-bi keeps glancing toward them, feeling jealous, while Jae-won also secretly looks at her. Her friend notices this and sits with Na-bi, asking if she's jealous. Then Na-bi mentions that Jae-won had a girlfriend, making her friend surprised. When their friends assume something romantic between Do Hyuk and Na-bi, she denies it. But Do Hyuk surprises everyone by confessing that she was his first love, making Jae-won feel hurt inside. Later that night, everyone plays a drinking game, secretly asking personal questions. Do Hyuk secretly asks Na-bi who makes her smile the most among them all. She instantly says Do Hyuk, smiling brightly, but Jae-won watches from afar, feeling jealous. Do Hyuk excuses himself to go to the beach because he wants to prepare a romantic spot to confess his feelings to Na-bi that night. At the guest house, Do-yeon turns to Jae-won and secretly asks who he wants to kiss tonight. Jae-won answers Na-bi, making everyone excited, but Na-bi doesn't know what question she asked him. As the game continues, Jae-won stops playing and watches from afar. The group notices he has changed, and he admits that someone has captured his heart, but doesn't say who. Then Do-yeon accidentally drops a glass, cutting her hand. Na-bi treats her. Then Do-yeon reveals what she asked Jae-won and assumes there's something between them. But Na-bi denies it, saying Jae-won likes to play around. The group then goes to the beach except Na-bi, who wants to go back to her aunt's house. But before that, Jae-won approaches her as only they are left at the house. Jae-won notices that Na-bi's hands also hurt, and he offers to apply ointment for her, which she coldly refuses at first. But he gently grabs her hand and applies it on her arm. She confronts him, asking why he answered like that in front of everyone, making them misunderstand. Jae-won then looks at her and says that he keeps thinking about her and misses her. He asks for her permission before leaning in to kiss her. Na-bi kisses him back, but hesitates when she sees Do Hyuk's call on her phone. Instead of answering, she wants to continue kissing Jae-won. He pauses again to ask for consent, saying he can't stop after this if they continue, but then she walks away. Then Na-bi bumps into Do Hyuk, who's been looking for her since she's not at the beach, and offers to take her home. Jae-won sees everything. They arrive at Do Hyuk's confession spot where he gives her flowers and confesses his feelings to her, but she rejects him, and Do Hyuk assumes that she likes Jae-won. She tearfully admits that she does like him, but doesn't want to see him either. Do Hyuk hides his jealousy, but it's clear he's hurt. When Na-bi leaves, he returns to his grandfather's guest house only to face Jae-won, who provokes him and makes things worse. But Do Hyuk asks him to stop bothering Na-bi, while Jae-won insists that he knows Na-bi likes him. The next morning, Na-bi finds Jae-won with her aunt, casually doing pottery together. Then she coldly tells him to forget what happened and calls their kiss a drunken mistake. Jae-won forces a smile but admits that her words really hurt him and asks if she's dating Do Hyuk, but she avoids answering, saying it's none of his business. Feeling offended, he walks away. At the bus terminal, Na-bi is on the bus going back to Seoul, and Do Hyuk finds her there, giving her snacks he made himself before he leaves. He later calls her, saying he's not ready to let her go and will try his best to win her heart. Na-bi is shocked to hear that. Later that night, Do Hyuk calls again, saying their hometown feels empty without her and promises to come to Seoul to meet her. At the faculty, Na-bi sees Jae-won working on a large sculpture with a group of foreigners, sparking rumors that he might be scouted abroad. Trying to stay composed, she talks to him directly, and Jae-won admits he's thinking about going to the U.S. She says she doesn't need his help with her project. Later, they visit an art gallery together. Na-bi feels uncomfortable there, haunted by memories of her ex's exhibition. Jae-won tries to comfort her, gently holding her shoulders as they walk, but Na-bi keeps her distance, avoiding eye contact. At the cafe, Na-bi asks about his car. He says it was a gift from his mother and opens up about her, while Na-bi admits she feels uneasy being there, but doesn't explain why. Jae-won then tells her he once saw a beautiful stranger standing in front of a statue that looked exactly like her and fell for her at first sight. Then he met that girl again, believing it was destiny. But Na-bi doesn't catch the hint, thinking he's just being a flirt. During class, the students prepare to draw a live model, but when the original model cancels, Jae-won volunteers. At lunch, Do Hyuk shows up with homemade food for Na-bi, and they enjoy a cheerful moment together, unaware that Jae-won is watching from afar, filled with jealousy. Later, Na-bi happily watches the video Do-hyuk edited for his YouTube channel based on her advice, making him blush. Do-hyuk sees her sculpture and is amazed by her talent, giving her words of encouragement even though she's been feeling down from her professor's criticism. Deep down, Na-bi feels bad for rejecting him and doesn't want to disappoint him anymore. But when she learns she wasn't chosen for the exchange program, she feels disheartened and loses motivation for her project. Meanwhile, Do-hyuk smiles brightly, thinking they're growing closer, but Na-bi's heart still belongs elsewhere. As she walks through the alley near the bar where she first met Jae-won, thinking about him, he suddenly appears behind her, bringing their story full circle once again. They decide to have a drink at the bar. Jae-won asks if she has any problems, but she says she's fine. Then Do-hyuk messages her, and Na-bi replies to him in front of Jae-won, making him jealous as she keeps focusing on Do-hyuk instead of him. Jae-won admits he saw Na-bi and Do-hyuk together at the faculty and asks if she likes him. Na-bi admits she does like Do-hyuk since he's nice and caring, and Jae-won asks why not date him instead. She says she fears he will see her real self and lose interest, but she wants to be better because of him. With Jae-won, things feel different and more complicated. Later, Jae-won walks Na-bi home and sees Do-hyuk secretly watching from afar, misunderstanding the situation. Jae-won doesn't correct it and takes advantage of the moment by going inside her place to get his belongings. Do-hyuk walks away heartbroken. Inside the house, after finishes packing, Jae-won approaches her and checks her hand that was once hurt, seeing it's already healing. He tries to kiss her again, but she stops him and insists they not repeat the same mistake, asking him to go home. He approaches her again, saying their last kiss wasn't a mistake, that he likes her, and asks her to date him and think about it before he goes back home. Then, Na-bi notices that Do-hyuk texted her earlier to talk, but she replies to meet next time, making him even more heartbroken. That night, Jae-won notices that Na-bi mistakenly put her book in his box during yesterday's packing and realizes she had drawn many pictures of him while he was sleeping last time. The next morning, Do-hyuk acts cheerful but struggles to hide his disappointment. His mood even affects his cooking, and his dumplings turn out poorly. While he wonders if he should give up, Jae-won tries harder to impress Na-bi, crafting a small butterfly pendant just for her. Jae-won sees that Na-bi isn't selected for the exchange student program, but she never tells him about it. Na-bi faces harsh criticism from her professor, who says she's disappointed in her project and expected Na-bi to learn more from working with Jae-won. The professor's words sting deeply, reminding Na-bi how mixing emotions with work has only caused more trouble. And because she didn't get accepted into the exchange program, she feels defeated. Do-hyuk calls her, and she tells him this semester has been the worst, sharing all her problems while Jae-won secretly overhears everything, realizing she's only comfortable talking about her problems with Do-hyuk, not him. Still, he offers her a ride home before handing her the butterfly bracelet he made himself before leaving. The next day, Jae-won meets Sol-ah before she flies to the U.S. He suggests visiting her someday, but she rejects the idea, saying they should stop keeping in touch. Sol-ah confesses she has feelings for him, but since he doesn't feel the same, she decides to walk away for good. Meanwhile, her friend notices Na-bi has no motivation with her work, assuming she has problems with Jae-won, and tells her that she thought Na-bi and Jae-won looked good together, asking if she's really over him. Na-bi hesitates, her confusion clearly affecting her art. That night, Na-bi eats with Jae-won and another student, treating them for helping her with her work. Then Do-hyuk calls to meet her, and Jae-won overhears and feels jealous. Na-bi meets Do-hyuk, who happily tells her his new video gained lots of views thanks to her advice. But then, he admits he saw her with Jae-won entering her house that night and feels jealous. Shocked, Na-bi freezes as he asks if Jae-won even cares about her, saying he just wants her to be happy. It starts to rain, and later, when Na-bi gets home, a drunk Jae-won is waiting outside. He asks why she came home so late and is jealous that she spent too much time with Do Hyuk. She argues, saying it's none of his business, and walks away. He grabs her arm to stop her and reveals that Do Hyuk saw them yesterday, and that's why he went inside her house, to make him jealous. Furious, Na-bi says she regrets ever being with him and admits she's crazy for believing what he said, thinking he actually liked her. Jae-won keeps provoking her until she insists that she doesn't want to see him again. Her words linger in his head as she walks inside. They both cry that night. Jae-won realizes he has lost Na-bi completely and that it's his fault. Na-bi later regrets it, unable to stop thinking about his kind eyes despite all his red flags. At school, she decides to finish her project alone and tells her friend she doesn't need his and Jae-won's help anymore. She bumps into Jae-won, and he holds her hand, but she pulls away angrily and walks off. Both of them are miserable. He keeps checking his phone while she stares out her window in silence. Then disaster strikes when Na-bi's sculpture crashes to the ground and shatters after the fan falls over, shocking all her friends. Whether it was an accident or not, her entire project is ruined, and the professor worries she could fail the final exhibition. As it rains again, Na-bi sits down helplessly when Jae-won appears and offers to help. He promises that once they finish fixing the sculpture, he'll stay away like she asked. They work together quietly for days, rebuilding the broken angel statue, and spending that time with him makes Na-bi rethink her decision since he still cares for her. Yet she feels sad when he doesn't even offer her a ride home, though he's just respecting what she told him. Slowly, they start to grow close again. In the end, their project is complete, a rough angel with damaged wings and a pained look. When it's done, Jae-won compliments her, saying she looks beautiful when she's passionate about her work, then sadly leaves, keeping his promise to stay away. But Na-bi isn't happy watching him go. Later, her friend notices Jae-won clearing out his things in the studio and asks him to return Na-bi's green book to her. At the same time, Jae-won packs up his belongings and releases his butterflies out the window, watching them fly away. Rumors spread that he's gone to the U.S., but the truth is, he's still at home, lying in the dark, depressed and unsure what to do next. Na-bi, on the other hand, can't stop thinking about him and the memories they shared. Meanwhile, Do Hyuk gains attention from fans who recognize him from his videos. When Na-bi visits, he hints for her to visit their hometown and spend time with him. He also plans to attend her exhibition, still hoping she might choose him. When he tells her he's happy she finished her project, she says her friends helped her, but hides that it was Jae-won who actually did. At home, Na-bi opens her green book and finds sketches of herself surrounded by shadows. It represents the first time Jae-won saw her at her ex's art exhibition and how he's been thinking of her ever since. She realizes the girl he fell for at first sight, when he once mentioned it at the cafe, was actually her, and that he's liked her all along. That night, she goes to his studio but finds it closed, and he doesn't answer her call. When exhibition day arrives, everyone gathers to see the artworks. Her professor praises her and even offers her a chance to study in Paris, but Na-bi doesn't look happy because Jae-won isn't there. Do Hyuk arrives with flowers but catches sight of Jae-won, so she runs outside but misses him. Do Hyuk follows and gives her the flowers, but he already knows the truth. Na-bi's heart belongs to Jae-won. She thanks him and apologizes for breaking his heart, and he accepts it quietly before leaving. After dinner with friends, Na-bi realizes how much she misses Jae-won. She rushes back to the gallery and finds him standing in front of her angel statue. She calls him a jerk for not showing up earlier, but admits she feels happier when he's around. She's still wearing the bracelet he made for her, and even though she knows he might hurt her again, she doesn't want him to leave. Despite the pain, she chooses to stay by his side and accepts his date offer. He smiles happily, admits he likes her a lot, and they start kissing. The scene ends as some girls ask for J1's number, but he refuses, saying he already has a date while looking at Na B. They walk together hand in hand, and when Na B spots Do Hyuk from afar, she decides not to let go, choosing her own path with J1. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Craving K-dramas or K-movies? Get your bite-sized fill at RecapDumpling.